Kuraruji Yuni is an 18-year-old girl who is afraid of everything, even small indoor dogs. She didn't communicate with anyone in the class, so she was alone in physical education when they had to split into pairs to do exercises. In class, no matter what happened, she was always calm. Everyone thought she was always fine, but in reality, it was the opposite. The students were looking at the grade sheet, and Kuraruji had the highest marks, but the girl seemed completely calm and did not express any emotions. She was just petting a toy cat. The teacher looked at her with a smile. The teacher approached the girl and asked her about the cat she was holding. Who was this cat to her? After school, he was waiting for her in the teacher's room. The girls in the corridor started talking about how she could talk to the English teacher because she didn't know English well. Most of the schoolgirls were in love with the teacher. He was handsome. The teacher was smoking in his car in front of the school. Kuraruji was already waiting for the teacher in the teacher's lounge after school, but he was delayed. The teacher came and said that he would now study with her individually, as the student had problems with him. The girl understood and left the classroom. The teacher was approached by the girl's uncle, who worked as a math teacher at the same school. He asked if it would be too much work for the girl. Kuraruji told her friends that now she would have an individual English lesson every day because the teacher believed that she was very poor in the language and had poor grades, and he did not want the best student to fail the exams. Kuraruji was very angry. She did not show her emotions, and her anger was expressed by eating 2 donuts when she was angry. A friend introduced Kuraruji to a boy she liked. Yudi told her friend that starting tomorrow, she would not go to school with her. The girls have been friends since middle school. Yuni came to her first individual lesson. English was difficult for her because she had a mathematical mindset. She was looking for rules to solve everything. The man wondered whether she had feelings, whether Kuraruji could show her emotions. Emotions are important in language. It's not math where rules are used. Yuni said that she would never understand English and that their individual lessons were over. But the teacher didn't think so. He stopped the student. She didn't like his scent and told him so. The teacher thought that the student was being rude to him, so Yuni pushed him away and ran out of the classroom. Yuni came home and her uncle asked her how her lesson with Sakurai went. Her uncle hoped that she would be fine now and that she would be able to fulfill her dream of going to the University of California. But Kuraruji said she had changed her mind about going there. At school, Yuni's uncle was waiting for the English teacher, and he asked how yesterday's lesson went because it is difficult to find a common language with the girl. The girl does not know how to show emotions, although she has a very kind heart. Sakurai's teacher had prepared materials for Kuraruji to help her learn English, and they were very well written. But the girl said she couldn't do it because it doesn't make sense without rules. But the teacher made her rewrite it and say every word. The other students saw that the teacher was also working with Kuraruji and asked for individual lessons. Sakurai's teacher said that they could pass the exam without his individual lessons, so they didn't need to go. The girls didn't like this and confessed that they were in love with the teacher. He said that he liked them too and that they should study on their own. They agreed. The girls were fascinated by his smile. The principal called Sakurai for a conversation. The man saw that one of the students who confessed her feelings did not treat the guy as a teacher, but she was in love with him, to which Sakurai replied that it was normal that the students liked him. After school, the girls would fall in love, get married, and live happily with their loved ones. The principal was afraid that during the exam season the students might think about other things instead of studying, and a teacher should not give rise to gossip. Sakurai noticed how Kuraruji expressed her emotions. He understood her, but wanted her to treat him as a teacher. The girl understood him and said that she did not like him. For her, he was only a teacher. Yuni told her friend that the teacher told her that he called her a teenager and he thought she liked him. She was angry. She had to keep going to his classes to pass the exam. Yuni didn't understand why many girls at school went crazy for Sakurai for his smell. Kuraruji couldn't stand the smell of the teacher's cologne. In class, Kuraruji was writing a test, and she realized that she really knew something. The teacher saw her answers on the sheet of paper and shook his head, which meant that she had done well. She had written it correctly. The student saw their contact and confessed her love to Sakurai. She took the test and got a score of 65. This score was low for a girl, but it was better than before the lessons. Yuna was approached by a student who confessed her love to the teacher, and she asked Kuraruji to talk to her. The girls went to the storage room where other students who were also in love with Sakurai were waiting for them. They were convinced that Yuni had done badly on the test on purpose so that she could have private lessons. Yuni said that she did not like Sakurai as a man. The girls said that she was lying to them. Kuraruji again suppressed her emotions by clutching her skirt, and a fight broke out between the girls. The girls left the room where Yuni was locked up. The students ran to the classroom happy. Sakurai came to them and asked if they had seen Kuraruji. The girls replied that she must have gone home. Hiroruji tried to get out of the storeroom, but she couldn't. She injured her leg when she tried to climb out the window. Sakurai let Yuni out. The teacher threatened the students that if they did not tell the truth, he would not pay attention to them. The girl left. She was in great pain, and Sakurai took her in his arms and carried her to the first aid post. Almost the whole school saw this. The girl's uncle also saw them through the window. At the first aid post, the teacher gave the girl first aid and asked her to be simple so that people would be attracted to her. The girl's uncle and a nurse ran into the medical center. They asked what happened, and the girl said she fell, and she was fine. Sakurai said he would take the girl home. At home, Yuni eagerly inhaled the scent Sakurai had left on her jacket. Yuni and her friend went shopping. She told them what her classmates had done to her. Yuni said that the teacher solved the problem. The girls were choosing a gift for Saki, the boyfriend of Yuni's friend Nami. Nami said that when the person you love wears your gift, it makes you happy. After the individual lesson, Yuni handed over the gift as a sign of gratitude for what the teacher had done for her. He took it as a sign that she was in love with him, and his words offended Kuroruji, so she slapped Sakurai, saying that she only wanted to thank him, nothing more. The girl started to cry. Sakurai tried to wipe her tears away, but she ran away. At home, Yuni was reading Mendel, and her uncle knew that she only reads that book when someone offends her. Teacher Sakurai was called to the principal's office. Yuni's uncle was worried. He asked to cancel the individual lessons as a guardian. Sakurai was surprised that her math teacher was her guardian. Her uncle explained that she had started reading Mendel's books because it had been a stressful week for her. The girl does not share with her uncle what is bothering her, so he is worried about his niece. The principal said that Kuroruji's English grades have improved, and with the grades she has now and their letter of recommendation, she will be able to go to university, so the individual lessons are over. The uncle said that her English classes were canceled. She did a good job and her grades are now at a decent level. Yuni walked into the classroom where the individual lessons were taking place. Kuroruji heard the girls in the corridor inviting teacher Sakurai to karaoke, but he refused. During the lesson, Yuni looked at the teacher intently. After the lesson, she stayed in the classroom and listened to the recording Sakurai gave her. When he entered the classroom, she ran out. Yuni changed and her friend Nami noticed. Kuroruji told her that her heart hurt. She hated him, but she couldn't live without him. Nami said it was love, and Yuni was in love. Her friend asked her to tell Yuni who she was in love with, but the girl did not tell her. In a bookstore, Kuroruji bought a book on how to confess her love. In class, Kuroruji wanted to tell her teacher she was in love, but she couldn't. She just said she loved his lessons, and he was 3 minutes late. The girl tried to confess her love, but it was hard for her to do so. She could not say the words. Yuni was waiting for the teacher in the classroom. She repeated the words she had to say to him. The teacher entered the classroom to start the lesson, but he did not see the girl in the classroom. Sakurai asked where the student Kuroruji was. The students in the class did not see where she had gone because she had been with them during the break. Yuni hid under the teacher's desk. When he started the lesson, the student pulled his pants and opened a notebook that said, "I don't like you, but I love you." "What should I do?" The teacher leaned over to Kuroruji and said, "You do." He kissed the girl. The principal was showing the new teacher around the school, and the woman noticed that the teacher stood up in class and held his finger to his lips. During the break, Sakurai apologized to Kurorugi for what happened in class. He shouldn't have done that. He asked her to forgive and forget. The teacher who was sent to the school as a substitute knew Sakurai from elementary school. The two of them used to study at the school where they now teach. The old friends were walking through the schoolyard, and the woman made a wish about a tree that Sakurai's father had shown them, a tree that granted wishes. If you make a wish and walk around it 3 times with your eyes closed, it will come true. Mira, an old friend, kissed Sakurai. He pushed her away and touched her lips. The woman said that he hadn't changed, and neither had his habits. She said she had seen him kiss a student. Sakurai explained that it was an accident and that they had already talked and resolved everything. The teacher's friend recalled that they had dated in high school and she was always the one who kissed him. The woman said that he did not love her then, but he loves this girl because he would never have kissed her first. Sakurai always said that instincts never lie. What would happen if they found out about the love between the teacher and the student? He could be fired, even imprisoned. The teacher tried to talk to Kuroruji about their relationship and Sakurai, but Yuni remained silent, and when the woman said that she wanted to warn the girl not as a woman, but as a class teacher, Yuni said yes, bowed, and left. Kuroruji saw Sakurai talking to the teacher. The woman noticed Yuni and sat down next to the teacher, smiling and putting her hand on his shoulder. The students saw the teachers together and started talking about what a beautiful couple they were, and that they had known each other for a long time. Maybe they were in love. Yuni could not hear them. She ran away. After school, Kuroruji came to the teacher and confessed her love to him again, that she couldn't stop thinking about him and the kiss. The man replied that they shouldn't, that Uni should forget. He looked at her and told her that nothing good would come of it, that it was youthful love, it would pass and she would forget him. The girl was clutching her ass, suppressing her emotions. Uni shouted that the teacher did not understand her and ran away. He chased after her, but could not find her. During the recess, Uni's classmates found a lost notebook. It belonged to their classmate. The boys wanted to open the notebook and read it, but Kurorugi took the notebook away and said that they could not read other people's notes. At that time, the owner of the notebook came into the classroom. He thanked the girl for not letting others read. Kurorugi fainted. The teacher came running when he heard her name shouted, saw that she was unconscious, touched her and realized that she was sick. Yuna had a high fever. Sakurai asked him not to tell Yuna that he had brought her to the first aid station. Maktu, the boy from her class who had made her faint, took her to a pastry shop and told her that he wanted to become a pastry chef like his father, who worked in France. In the notebook he had forgotten were recipes for desserts, and he didn't want others to know about his dream. Kurorugi invited him because the boy had a dream unlike hers. While in high school she wanted to study at the University of California, Mendel, she stopped dreaming about this institution because of her poor English. Maktu said that she gave up early, she still had time to learn English. Summer vacation began. Maktu confessed to Kurorugi that he liked her, took her hand and they left. Sakurai and the teacher were shopping. The woman saw Maktu leading Uni by the hand. Sakurai wanted to leave, but she stopped him and suggested that they start their relationship over. Sakurai wondered why they would do that. Haruka Sakurai saw Maktu leading Kurorugi. He wanted to go to the girl, but Mira asked him to stop. She said that if they found out about him with a student, he would be fired. Kurorugi asked Maktu to stop. She apologized to him and said that she had a man she loved. Before he could say a word, an unknown man grabbed Uni by the arm and they ran in the opposite direction. The stranger who took Kurorugi away was Sakurai. The man confessed his feelings to the girl. In response, he heard that she did not believe his words. She would not believe him until he proved that he really loved her. The uncle was worried about his niece. She said she was fine and thanked him. In the window, she saw Sakurai calling her to come out to him. Yumei said she wanted donuts and went out to the teacher. Sakurai took Kurorugi to the beach. This beach was his secret place, and there were never any people there. Sakurai asked if she had ever seen a blue sunset. Sakurai told the girl about his father, who used to tell stories when he spent time with his son. One of them was the story of the blue sky. When Haruki Sakurai was 12, his father died, and he found out that his father had been lying to them. The only thing he wasn't lying about was his job. That's why he hates deception. Yuna was the first person he told this to. Sakurai asked Kurorugi to marry him after graduation. The girl agreed. To be with his beloved, Sakurai will leave school. If anyone at school finds out about them, Uni will be expelled. So they need to behave like a student and a teacher. At school, the couple tried to keep their distance, although it was difficult for Kurorugi. The girl was constantly looking at her lover. Maktu talked to Kurorugi, and she apologized to him for what had happened. The boy asked if the person who took her away was teacher Sakurai. He could smell him. Maktu realized that they were in love. Maktu said that Sakurai had taken Uni to the first aid station when she fainted. Kurorugi was learning how to cook, which surprised her uncle, and he asked her to sit down and study. But the girl replied that she wanted to learn a lot and liked cooking. Sakurai asked Uni to meet him after school, and she agreed. Nani went to her friend. They were going to go for a walk after school, but Uni refused to go. She said she had a private lesson and ran away. Haruka was waiting for Uni in the classroom. He said that her English skills had improved, and she had done much better on the test. Sakurai gave her some materials to help her improve her English. The girl thanked him and was about to leave. The teacher noticed that the girl was very cold with him and asked if he had offended her. Yuri said no, and Sakurai saw that she was clutching her skirt and hugged her from behind. It was hard for the lovers to contain their feelings. Mira, Kurorugi's class teacher, saw their embrace and took a photo of them. Kurorugi's uncle asked Mira if she was the class teacher for his niece. He was surprised by her behavior. He was afraid that if she found out that he was worried about her, she would close herself off from him and stop talking to him altogether. The teacher showed the uncle a photo she had taken. Sakurai asked for permission to marry Kurorugi after graduation. The uncle was angry. He was against their relationship. The girl is still a child. He went to the principal in anger. The math teacher found out that Yuna had good grades in English and suggested that she go to study in America. Now the girl was faced with the choice of going to study or staying in Japan with her beloved. Sakurai came to Kurorugi's house. He missed her and said that he wanted her to always have a smile on her face after their wedding. Yuni told her uncle that she had decided not to go to America. She didn't see any point in it. At school, we found out that a teacher was dating a student. Nami did not understand why her friend was so cold to her. The girls had a fight. Sakurai was called to the principal's office. The principal asked what kind of relationship Sakurai had with the student. There were rumors in the school that they were in a relationship. They were seen walking together in the mall. Yuni's uncle, Mr. Okechi, said that this was not true and that he could confirm it. The uncle asked him to think about the girl's future. She is still just a child. Sakurai thanked Okechi for standing up for them. The uncle said that his niece refused to go to America to study. He asked Sakurai to talk to the girl to change her mind, but the English teacher refused to help. Sakurai saw Kurorugi outside the pastry shop, standing and looking out the window of the place where she always sat with her friend. Yuni was clutching her skirt again. The lovers arrived at the beach. Yuni told Sakura that she had a fight with her friend, but she was fine because she had him. Yuni said that she had started to learn to cook. Sakurai said that he had cheated on Yuni, that he couldn't marry her because he forgot about her when he was away from school, and he was tired of kindergarten in general. He said goodbye to Kurorugi. Yuni apologized to Nami. Maktu told Nami everything about Yuni and the teacher. Kurorugi told him that she and Sakurai had broken up, that he no longer loved her, that he had deceived her, and that he was bored with kindergarten. The worst thing for the girl was that despite his actions, she loved Sakurai very much. Nani began to cry. Yuni cried too. Maktu, who heard his friend's words and saw her tears, ran to the school, where he found Sakurai and hit the teacher in the face. The student asked why the teacher had done this to Yuni and ordered him not to come near the girl again. Mira told Sakurai that it was she who told him about her and Kurorugi Okeki. She did it because she wanted them to break up. Her friend hoped that after they broke up she would be able to get Sakurai back, but she realized that she would not be able to get him back anyway. Yuni told her uncle that she was going to California, but Kazume's face did not show joy at her niece's words. The day of the flight came. Nami and her uncle saw Yuni off. Sakurai did not come to see the girl off. Kurorugi returned to Japan and came to school. Sakurai saw her. Yuni said she had something to show him, so she took his hand and they ran out of the school. The whole school was watching them. The students wondered who the girl was and where she had taken the teacher. The couple ran to the beach. Kurorugi showed Sakurai a photo of a blue sunset. It turns out that it really exists. It appears only for a moment during a flash. Her father was not deceiving Sakurai. The blue sunset is real. The girl came back specifically to show him. Yuni realized that he had lied to her so that she could go to the university she had always dreamed of. Now she is trying to come back as a girl worthy of him. She asked him to wait a little longer. Sakurai apologized to the girl that he could no longer deceive her for her happiness. The boy hugged Yuni. Sakurai asked her to marry him again. The couple kissed and a blue sunset appeared for a moment.